All right, we have Miles McBride, one of the newest Knicks, a draft pick from last night with us. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll call on you and bring you into the room. Our first question comes from Mike Vorkanoff of The Athletic.
Hey, Miles. First of all, congratulations. Welcome to New York. I guess I heard you say something, I think last night someone released a video of you from your draft party saying something to the effect of you want to make teams, I guess, regret not picking you in the draft. Is that your philosophy coming into the league, is just kind of making the teams that didn't take you, like you said, regret it? And why do you think that they will?
I feel like I have a winning DNA. Throughout high school and college, I've just always won. And that's the main thing I want to, bring to the Knicks, is that winning DNA. And, they made the playoffs this year and just, continue to strive, upwards. So I feel like during doing all that winning, a lot of teams are going to be regretting not picking me.
Our next question comes from Ian Begley, SNY.
Yeah, Miles, how was your meeting with these guys during the pre-draft process and the workout, and what do you think about joining this organization specifically with this roster?
It was a really good meeting. They were familiar with me. They understood where I came from, and they have friends in the West Virginia program. So I felt really comfortable with the staff, and I'm just excited to be a Knick. It feels great to go to a team that wants me and understands my game and sees everything I can do on the floor.
Steve Popper, Newsday.
Hey, Quentin was talking earlier about how Coach Sampson had kind of rated him for Coach Thibodeau. Coach Huggins, sort of the same for you, that you feel like when you meet Tom that it's the same sort of guy you're used to playing for?
Oh, absolutely. I've heard it from just about everybody I've met that knows Coach Huggins or played for him, that if you can play for Huggins, you can play for anybody. So, obviously I've heard, Tibbs is a, hard-nosed coach. So that's the way I've been coached my whole life. And that's the way I wanted to be at this level as well.
Steph Bondi, Daily News.
Hey, Miles, were you surprised that you fell to the second round? And is there motivation? I guess you kind of alluded to it before. Is there motivation, I guess, in that, in kind of being the underdog, I guess?
Yeah. I don't know. Surprised is probably the right way I'd put it. Just talking with my agents and just understanding that, I had a wide range, and there were a lot of trades and things. So I felt like I'm definitely one of the best players in the draft. It's not about, where you start, it's where you finish. So that's all I'm thinking about.
Jonathan Macri, Knicks Film School.
Hey, Miles, congratulations on being picked. Just two questions. One, do you prefer Miles or Deuce?
Really either, but I guess Deuce.
Okay. And then I'm curious how much, from West Virginia you followed like the Knicks season last year. It was obviously kind of a season out of nowhere, went to the playoffs, the whole thing. Were you cognizant of that as it was going on, and what are your impressions of it?
Yeah, definitely. I've liked some of the young guys they had. I know Julius is a little older, but I remember when he was at Kentucky, and honestly, like, my family's not Kentucky basketball fans, but everybody in my house kind of liked his game. And obviously everybody knows about Derrick Rose and RJ Barrett. So I'm excited to, be able to put on the same uniform as those guys and go to war with them.
Mark Berman, New York Post.
Hey, Miles. I was wondering, just being a high school quarterback, how that helps you in basketball, and also, what did Tom Thibodeau see in you? Because I heard that he really was pushing for you.
Yeah, I would say being a high school quarterback definitely taught me a lot of leadership skills, being able to lead a team of, 80, 90, 100 guys. That's one of the main things, a lot of moving parts and a lot of different pieces that you got to make fit. So I would say that's the main thing I probably learned being a quarterback. And I think Tibbs saw that leadership, my leadership style. I'm not necessarily a yeller, but I feel like I can definitely hold guys accountable. And I feel like he knows I'm going to be able to take criticism coming from Coach Huggins. So I think that's a big thing as well, just being a gritty guy.
Mike Vorkanoff, The Athletic.
Hey, Miles, what do you think you'll be able to do immediately, and how do you think you can contribute next year as a rookie at least?
Definitely think my defense is going to get me on the floor the fastest. Obviously, there are areas in my offensive game that I can continue to improve. I think my offensive game is definitely one of the best in the draft and as a rookie, but obviously it's a whole nother level coming into the NBA. So I think the defense and just playing with instincts is going to help me the most.
Mark Berman, New York Post.
What do you sense with the playing time situation? The point guard situation with the Knicks is kind of up in the air. I mean, how do you see how it could shape out?
Honestly, like I watched the Knicks a good amount last year, but I'm just excited to have an opportunity to get playing time. Going out to summer league and showcasing what I have as a point guard is going to definitely be fun. So it's just going to be a day by day process for that.
Steph Bondi, Daily News.
Hey Miles, I got two questions for you. The first is when you say you have things you can improve on in your offensive game, what specifically are you looking at there? And also, I know your father played basketball. I read your grandfather was in the Harlem Globetrotters. That history in your family, I know you played football, but how important was that in your development?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say just getting more experience in the pick and roll. First of all, is something I can always, gain. Not coming from, a school that really ran a lot of pick and rolls. That's just something I'm still inexperienced at. And then obviously having a basketball rich family. My brother just played his first year in Serbia last year. He was a Division II college player. And, like you said, my dad played at Xavier and my grandfather was Harlem Globetrotter. So just growing up in their shadows and, trying to strive for greatness after them, it's been very helpful to my development.
Ian Begley, SNY.
Miles, there's some young guys on the Knicks roster. I'm just wondering if you have a history of playing with or against any of these guys just coming up through high school and college.
No, I don't think I do.
Sam DiGiovanni, Knicks Wall.
Hey, Miles, congrats on getting drafted. You started the session earlier talking about winning DNA and how you've had success at every level. So how does it feel that you got drafted by a team that just made the playoffs last year as opposed to a team that is struggling to get to that level?
It really feels amazing, honestly. Like I said before, like to go to a team that, obviously I've talked to Tibbs and talked to their front office and they felt like, I was a guy that could come in and help. So the fact that they're winning, and I feel like winning is the most valuable thing you can do. Obviously, accolades will come with that, but winning to me is everything. So the fact that they made the playoffs and I feel like I can be another piece to continue to, go upwards, it's a great combination.
Mike Vorkanoff, The Athletic.
Miles, I know in the second round, teams sometimes call ahead to see if if you want to be drafted by them, if you want to take a two-way contract or anything like that. Did the Knicks reach out to you or your agent first to give you that option? And if so, what did they present to you? And obviously you signed off, but what was that like?
I'm still not sure on all the details. The only call I answered was the call right before they picked me.
All right, we have time for two more questions. The next one comes from Mark Berman in the New York Post.
Hey, Miles, I know you said you watched some Knicks this year. I don't know if you saw them in the playoffs, but I mean, when you're watching the game, like you look at a Trae Young and knowing how great a defender you've been, do you think in your mind, how you would defend a player like Trae?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Trae is a 3-level scorer. He He can shoot deep range balls, and coming off the pick and roll, he's very hard to stay attached to. So just being able to put my skills up against his, I'm looking forward to that challenge.
And the last question comes from Steph Bondi, the Daily News.
Hey, Miles, what do you think of those comparisons in playing style to like Kyle Lowry and being a pest and a pain in the ass for the opponent?
Yeah, I definitely I'm honored to have those playing styles. The guy like Kyle Lowry, definitely. I know he takes charges. I'm pretty sure he's led the league in charges before, and I'm a guy that's willing to do anything to win. And I think winning plays are taking charges, so that's something I can definitely get behind.